So, a very good afternoon and welcome to Loughborough University for today's WBBL Championship action. The Leicester Riders getting ready to take on the Manchester Met Mystics live and direct. My name is Tahir Hadja. Alongside me, co-commentating with me is Greg Ellis. How are you doing today, Greg?
Yeah, very good to hear. Excited to see today's action WBBL game, of course, between the hometown Riders and the visiting Manchester Met Mystics.
And you've also been in action already once today. Greg coming off the bench to come for a second game in a row. You're feeling no fatigue after doing that Division 1 men's game against Bradford Dragons.
The calves are a little bit tight, but you know, we push through. Gotta get through, get that dub.
Fantastic. So hello to all of you guys joining us live on the WBBL YouTube live stream. Get involved in the comments section. Let us know how you think the game is going. Let us know who you're rooting for. Show some love and appreciation for the players that are doing well in today's game. And we'll give you little shout outs along the way. Tell your friends and family to also join in with us. You can also get involved on social media at WBBL Official on Instagram, etc., as well as some other cool sites that if you do follow women's basketball for you to check out at TUB Podcast, at Hoops Fix Women, at BBL Fix, at WBBL Review, and there's many more. Hashtag British Basketball. But we're here today for Leicester Riders taking on Manchester Met Mystics, and we've got an exciting game ahead. And two teams that are currently situated in different situations in the table. Riders currently sit in second in the championships with an 8-1 record, just behind the London Lions, who are 9-1, taking their first loss of the season against the Sevenoaks Suns. And following them is the Essex Rebels, who also took a loss today against the Oakland Wolves. We'll have a little look at how those games went on a little later. But the Manchester Met Mystics, 5-5, 6 in the WBBL Championship. And Greg, we were having a conversation before this. A lot of people were expecting a little bit more out of the caliber of the roster that these ladies have on their team.
Absolutely. When you look at the Manchester Mystics lineup, the amount of individuals that have registered caps at GB senior level, we thought that might translate on the court in a way that it hasn't quite so far. I think it's a team that's probably still finding their feet. Lots of these girls, while massively experienced, not necessarily played with each other recently, so I think it's a team that's coming together and will get stronger as the season goes on.
Of course, and dealing with the COVID-19 situation, every team has a disadvantage immediately, but also this team started with Ebony Horton, unfortunately not in the roster today. A big player that had a big impact for the Manchester Mystics, but as mentioned, several players who can have an effect on the game today. But let's have a little talk about one of those players. A lot of these players actually returning to the Riders after previously playing for the WBBL team or playing in the University Centre, but one namely their captain, Georgia Jones, a WBBL vet, GB vet. What can we expect from her today, Greg?
I think what you like about Georgia is when she plays the game with what I call a slowness. When she's got the ball in her hands, she's in control of the ball, she's in control of the game, she never appears rushed. She makes great decisions almost every offensive play and is a great workhorse on the defensive end as well.
And alongside Georgia Jones today, let's have a little look closer at the Manchester Mystics roster. At 0, Rosie Hines. Number 3, Nicolette Fonglu Key. 8, Georgia Jones. Number 9, Hannah Shaw. Number 10, Rianne Bailey, former Leicester Rider also. Number 13, Vanessa Accra. Number 20, Dominique Allen. Number 21, Jaden Bam. Number 24, Sophia Song. Number 25, Charlie Rowe. Number 32, Natalie Furtado. And number 45, Helen Naylor. And since we finished with the name Helen Naylor, also somebody that can have a big impact on today's game, another veteran and much respect, a legendary trophy winner for the Sheffield Hatters, obviously unfortunately unable to compete this season, made the move to the Met Mystics.
Absolutely, I think a very shrewd manoeuvre from the Mystics to get Helen on board as soon as Sheffield decided they weren't going to be able to fulfil this season. Hopefully we get to see them back in the WBBL next season. But yeah, a shrewd move, a fantastic operator, an efficient player that makes the players around her better, just with the experience that she can share on the floor and the leadership abilities that she has.
Now taking a look at the Leicester Riders roster for today. At number 3, Katie Janaszewska, their captain. At number 6, Holly Winterburn. Number 7, Ella Clark. Number 8, Robin Ainge. Number 9, Hannah Robb. Number 10, Maya Brewer. Number 12, Anna Lappencooper. Number 13, Azania Stewart. Number 17, Amber Smith. And number 25, Eva Morris. Their head coach, Jesper Sundsberg, and assisted by Antonio Quintero. The Riders have started to come together as a team a little bit more now since they made some significant roster changes over improve in the past couple of weeks or so, and we're starting to see them start to play a little bit fluid, more of a fluid game.
Absolutely, yeah. The 3 players out, 3 players in right at deadline day. Big changes in the Riders roster. And yeah, I think we're starting to slowly but surely see the best of Stewart, Brewer and Smith all in a Riders shirt. Smith and Stewart will be starting for the Riders today. So yeah, hopefully we're starting to see a bit more out of those guys as they get more accustomed to the rest of the team and they find their new rhythm with the new lineup.
So the starting 5s have made their way onto the floor, and starting 5 for the Leicester Riders at number 9, Hannah Robb, Holly Winterburn, Azania Stewart, Lappen Cooper, as the players take the knee at this moment in time to show their support in understanding that we need to kick racism out of all of elements of our society, and they rise to their feet. And mentioned also on the floor at this moment in time is Brewer. And she will get the ball tipped to her. Apologies, Amber Smith. And the Riders will start with possession. The starting 5 for the Mystics: Song, Hannah Shaw, Fong Nu Ki. We've also got Georgia Jones on the court. Long 2 goes up, rebounded by Song. Also on the floor for the Mystics is number 13, Vanessa Accra.
Yeah, nice balanced 5 the Mystics are starting with. A great mixture of speed, size. Given balanced play, as we see Georgia Jones working to find Shaw early in the offence.
Shaw's shot is off. Rebounded offensively for the Manchester Met Mystics, a 3-ball, rebounded by Stewart. Here come the Riders now, Winterburn. Onto a left hand. Backdoor cut from Hannah Robb, drives baseline. Steps out of bounds, and end line possession for the Manchester Met Mystics.
Yeah, Rob trying to take advantage down the baseline, the door shut on her. But yeah, obviously trying to take advantage of the space in the Mystics defence.
The game's settling in a little bit at this moment in time. A couple mistakes early on is to be expected. Slight turnover there, but here's Jones now. Turnover for herself. Here's Robb pushing forward. Robb, nice easy pass and a finish at the ring on the inside hand for Smith. And the first 2 points of the game going to the Leicester Riders. Here's Jones behind the back, changes direction. Song. Georgia Jones baseline, trying to find room, kicks it out. Song with it, top of the 3. Fong Nu Ki, long 2, fires it up. Rattles in and out, rebounded by Winterburn.
Lots of ball movement for Manchester early in the game. We see we're looking to try and really work the Riders' defence. A strength of Riders' play, so trying to work that in and crack it open early.
Robb slips through the closing door. Bounces off the back of the ring, hits the basket stanchion, is out of bounds. Met Mystics possession on the baseline. Both teams opting for some man-to-man pressure early on in this one. Here's Song on the right-hand side, guarded by Winterburn. Tries to find a teammate, ends up finding Accra. Hands it off to Jones. Jones with a bounce pass. Accra. Song, long 2 for Hannah Shaw, and gets it to go this time. 1 of 2 from the field.
Yeah, causing problems with their mid-range ability. Obviously expect to see Shaw operate more in and around the basket. When she's extending her game, she makes herself a tough cover for the Riders.
Winterburn onto the left hand. In fact, switches to her right hand. Azania Stewart with the rebound. Cleans it up underneath the bucket. And 1. The basket is good and the foul is called. And she'll head to the free throw line. Azania Stewart there doing well to stay alert, get her hands on that missed layup from Winterburn and really make the difference there underneath the bucket.
Absolutely, I think the Stewart-Shaw battle is going to be an important one for the outcome of today's game, and you could almost argue that's first blood Stewart in what is probably going to be a long battle throughout the whole game.
Stewart completes the 3-point play. 5-2 the score, 7 minutes 30 early on here, as the clock hasn't actually moved at this moment in time. It's still staying still.
No one
seems to have noticed that the clock is not running at this moment in time. And the game is still going on. Here's Fong Nu Ki. She's going to get a free bucket out of time and the clock starts all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I think we'll wash that one over with the table officials at the end, but a free bucket there for the Mystics.
I think we know who's the guilty party is. We can definitely see one table official chuckling to herself.
And Smith's shot goes up, rebounded by Shaw. Here's Fong Nu Ki. Setting up the offense. Georgia Jones pops out left wing. Fong Nu Ki through. Hannah Shaw pops out the high post, finds Fong Lu Ki, who rises. Looking for this one-on-one situation with Winterburn. Now has to move the ball to Accra. Fires it up for 3. Knocks it down from behind the arc.
The Mystics bench loving that shot, all on their feet. Every single player showing their support for that shot. Winterburn in reply finds Smith at the basket, finishing for 2.
Actually, this season, Vanessa Accra, 50%. 3% field goal percentage. So, hey, expect that to knock that down. Here's Song, also another prolific three-point shooter for the Mystics. Ball rotation, Fong Lu Ki fires it up off the front of the ring. Offensive rebound for Song, kicks it out. Fong Lu Ki will reset the offense, calls for the screen from Shaw. Shaw rolls to the bucket. Song, shot clock winding down. And that's a turnover there. Great intensity on defense to force the miscommunication on that pass, and Riders have possession back in their hands.
Absolutely, Mystics looking to keep the ball moving and try and find the open player, but as many passes as they made, no one was able to get open due to the pressure applied by the Riders' defense.
Winterburn popping out, top of the 3. Now finds Rob. Rob back out to Winterburn, all alone. She doesn't quite get that one to go out of bounds, and it'll actually be a Leicester Riders possession. Georgia Jones.
Great activity from Hannah Robb. She might be one of the smaller girls on the court, but her pressure forced Jones to touch that and make it a Riders possession.
Lappenkupper now with Holly Winterburn for 3. Fires it up, and she'll knock down this one.
If you're going to leave her open, she's not going to miss many. They've already got away with one. They had the warning shot.
Here's Jones. Jones rides off the screen, pulls up mid-range, rebounded by Smith into the hands of Winterburn. Riders pushing the speed here. Winterburn hands it off. Rob. Hand off to Lappenkupper, going downhill to the left hand. Tough take. And she seemed to only have eyes for the basket in that moment.
Absolutely fantastic body control from Lappenkupper to get it anywhere near the basket from that position. Never mind to get it in. Fantastic scoop with the left hand.
And another turnover here from the Mystics as Anya Stewart gets her hands on possession. Winterburn and slows down the play. 5 minutes, we've reached the halfway mark of the first quarter. It's Riders' advantage as Smith steps back, fires it up. Rob tips it into Accra. A little bit of scrappy play, but Fong Lu Ki uses the handle, keeps it alive. Hannah Shaw finds Jones. Sorry, Greg, go ahead.
I was going to say an interesting early part of the ball game. I think we've seen a contrast of styles. Riders more looking to push the tempo. Manchester much more comfortable in the half-court game, looking to play a lot in the 4-high offense with the 2 post players on the elbows and looking to work out of that set.
Substitutions checking in for both teams. For the Leicester Riders checking into the game, Ella Clark and Maya Brewer. For the Manchester Met Mystics, Rianne Bailey and Dominique Allen come off the bench. That's not a bad couple of players to come off the bench, I tell you. Here's Georgia Jones, tried to scoop it up. Ella Clark, fingertip knocks that one away.
Yeah, we've gone away from the Stewart-Shaw battle. We've gone to the Clark-Allen battle inside.
Bailey. Jones from way downtown. And that's the shot clock violation. Riders will get it back.
Yeah, another fantastic stand for the Riders. They'll be really happy that early on they've made Manchester feel the shot clock pressure on a couple of occasions. That'll lift their tails early in this game.
Inside Clark, double teamed immediately in the paint, but fades away, makes it look easy. And a few words exchanged between Bailey and Clark. A little bit of admiration between the two, which is always great to see. And a foul is called. Foul is called.
I think it's on Maya Brewer for the Riders.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if the official actually held up 10 there as the number. The buzzer sounds. Yeah, and exactly as I thought there, the referee needs to just clarify what number that foul was on. I think he held up 13 for some reason. That's what I thought he held up. And the foul is called on number 10, Brewer. And that's a first personal.
The referee's obviously enjoying the game so much. He's rushed his signal, try and get it going again.
And to be fair, it's been a free-flowing game. 4 minutes in, only 2 fouls have been called. Both teams playing honest D, and the referees don't have to do too much work. Here's Bailey.
I think, one thing I'm liking about both teams, not just the honest defense, but both teams looking to move the ball and play team basketball. We're not having the ball get to one player and then dominate the ball either side of the court.
Nice defensive pressure there from Hannah Robb. Fong Lu Ki bounces the ball on the baseline. Out of bounds, Riders get it back. Big shout out to everybody checking in on the YouTube live stream. Let us know how you think today's game is going, who's your favorite players, who you're supporting today, and we'll be happy to converse with you as the game goes on. High post, Smith, bounce pass and a miscommunication there, and it slips off the hand of a Mystics player, and Riders will have it on the baseline. Big shout out to Josh G, watching from LA, California. International, that's how we like it. Here's Rob, fires it up. Rebounded by Allen. Jones. Ball rotation finds Song. Now with Bailey. Jab and drive. Nice footwork from Smith to get in front. Fong Lu Ki. Screen from Bailey. Back to Bailey. She'll fire up a three. Rian Bailey. Offensive rebound for her, and the foul is called. Great hustle from Bailey. Gets her own rebound off the missed three-point shot after creating that shot from herself after the screen and the pop.
Absolutely smart work from Rian to start with to create the shot, and then just pure effort to chase down the rebound under pressure. Got fouled, giving her a team another chance, another opportunity to score. Substitution for both teams. Athenia Stewart will check in, and also Helen Naylor into the game for the first time this evening. Here's Allen, hands it off. Big screen from Allen, takes Winterburn out. Here's Helen Naylor for three, and you don't leave her open. Helen Naylor lights out. Cash money, 14-10 the score. That's what you call instant offense off the bench from Helen Naylor. First touch, 3 points.
Rob for three, tries to find a reply for the Riders. Maya Brewer keeps that one in. Azania Stewart, double teamed, has to dribble it out to the three-point line, skipped across, clock winding down. Ella Clark ran away as if she made that, and a rebound for Dominique Allen. A chance for the Mystics to pull even closer. Fong Lu Ki. Bailey gets it into the post, back out Fong Lu Ki. Brewer's there. Forces her to make a decision. Allen skips it out. Helen Naylor once again for three. It almost looked like that one was going to be good.
Did look like it was dropping in, but she wasn't left as open this time. Hannah Robb was well aware of her presence.
And Hannah Robb drives baseline now, throws it off Dominique Allen, it's out of bounds. Riders will keep it. Substitution checking into the game for the Leicester Riders. Number 3, Katie Janaszewska. And she'll replace number 9, Hannah Robb. And substitution for the Mystics as Allen heads to the bench and Shaw will step back onto the hardwood. Winterburn's inbound. Stewart, nice pass inside to Winterburn, hands it off. Nice offense there if they could have get it to go.
Yeah, great interplay from the Riders. Not able to execute on that time, but yeah, worked the great inside shot that unfortunately didn't drop.
Jones, bounce pass to Shaw. Shaw, a rebound or fight for a rebound from Clark. Mystics bench thought that was out of bounds. Winterburn, up top, Ella Clark, guns one. And she'll get the friendly bounce and hits the target. 17-10, 1 minute 20 left to play here in the first.
Yeah, the clock showing again another forward in today's game that you can't leave open at the three-point line. She will punish you.
Bailey, up top Shaw, now with Jones. Jones comes off the screen, bounce pass to find Naylor. Beautiful pass, might I add, and there is a fit finish for that pass.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Helen Naylor owed her the finish from the pass. That pass deserved an assist.
An important bucket there coming to the end of the first. Here's Winterburn. Mystics really rallying, but Janaszewska coming off the bench, knocks it down. The young GB guard makes it happen.
Absolutely, a girl that we've seen growing confidence throughout the season as she's got more and more minutes.
Rian Bailey now fires up a three. Bounces around, rebounded by Janaszewska. And that's out of bounds, stays with the Riders on the baseline. Substitution, Lappenkuper checks in, replacing Holly Winterburn.
Yeah, the Riders' depth showing there. Holly Winterburn checking out. And Anna Lappenkuper checking in, another great point guard for the Riders team.
Clark finds Lappenkuper coming back in off the pass. Clark, catch and shoot, fires it up. Back of the ring. Shaw into the hands of Jones. Bailey. Oh, missed dribble, keeps it alive. Finds Shaw, back to basket, left-hand hook. Okay, Hannah.
Yeah, dropping into a bag of tricks there. I'm not able to get it go that time, but fantastic
great
move.
Fundamentals. Lappenkupper from way downtown to beat the buzzer. And that's the end of the first quarter, 20-13. An exciting first quarter, Greg. I really thought that both teams actually really battling out. And as we mentioned, playing some great honest defense and great team basketball.
Absolutely, both teams looking to work the ball, get the players, the touches in the right areas, as we've just seen Shaw get the ball in an area she loves to create from. I think Riders were probably really happy with the way that the defence held out and performed in that quarter, only giving up 13 points to this loaded Manchester team. So yeah, if that keeps going, they'll be pretty confident that they can control the outcome.
And the difference is essentially also they made them take tough shots, right? And Manchester 3 for 9 from the 3-point percentage field, apart from Helen Naylor's timely 2 big threes at the end there to keep them in touch and distance, haven't really shot the ball particularly well. Whereas Riders at this moment in time, 3 for 7 from 3 and 5 for 12 from the 2-point, they're really getting it to go. In terms of turnovers, there hasn't been too many turnovers. Early on there were a few. Manchester have 3 in that quarter. But what I will say is I'm quite excited about the players coming off the bench and making timely plays as well, Greg.
Absolutely, both teams have fantastic depth and girls that can come off the bench and hurt you. And I think we'll see, it's almost a battle of the benches who will come out on top of today. It's not about the stars in the starting 5, it's about the others and see what they can contribute throughout the game. I think massive stat for me, and probably a little bit surprising, that at the moment Riders dominating the points in the paint stats. 10 points in the paint already today. So yeah, showing that they're really trying to target the middle of this Mystics defense.
So, if you are just joining us now, welcome to today's WBBL Championship game here at Loughborough University. The Riders taking on the Manchester Met Mystics, 20-13 the score. There were some other WBBL games in action to get today mentioned. Also the Essex Rebels, they were in 3rd position and they lost against the Oakland Wolves. A huge performance from the Oakland Wolves in currently 2nd or 3rd from bottom at this moment in time. 17 points, 9 rebounds from Melita Emmanuel Carr, who's had a huge impact for the Oakland Wolves since making the move into their roster.
Absolutely a fantastic player, and exactly the sort of player that roster needed. A little bit more experience to guide some of the younger players through the game, and what a defensive performance, only giving up 52 points against the Essex Rebels team. Only 8 points in the second quarter. A fantastic performance from the Oakland Wolves today.
So right back to this live game that we've got at this moment in time. Hannah Shaw almost slips possession, catches it. Nice handoff pass there. Bailey with the crossover out to Hannah Shaw. Fast flurry of actions. Here's Naylor inside. She tries to get it to go off the step, immediately off the catch.
Yeah, I think the Manchester coach Jones felt that she got bumped, but referee disagreeing with him.
Here's Brewer. Brewer steps out of bounds. Manchester possession on the baseline.
Yeah, once again, Brewer, like Robert early in the first quarter, trying to take advantage of the baseline, but Manchester sort of leaving it there almost as a tease. As soon as she went down, the door slammed shut and she was forced to dribble out of bounds.
And now Mystics coming against with that horns action here. Shaw, ball rotation to Fong Loo Kee. Draws the help. Nice recovery from Ella Clark, but she still finds Bailey. Shaw off the dribble to the right hand. Shaw, foul is called. Foul is called. The number 13, Stewart, already knew exactly what the call was going to be and not of agreement with the referees, which is a good sign to have during a game.
A good sign, but a rare sign. I'm yet to find a basketball player that has committed a foul. So yeah, unusual for them to see them agree.
Shaw on the line for the first time this evening. This is the first one. Chance at the second.
Unusual to see her miss both. A 71% shooter on the league season from the line, so unusual to see her go 0 for 2 from the line, Hannah Shaw.
Lappenkupper. Brewer skips across to the opposite wing, but the ball's played inside to Clark. Clark, nice handoff to Stewart. Nice work between the bigs. Janaszewska comes up with the rebound on offense, kicks it out. Lappenkupper, ball rotation. Brewer for 3, and a rebound for Naylor. Pushes the ball in front of Fong Lu Ki. Manchester Mystics. Jones. Shaw. Bounce pass to Fong Lu Ki. Nice action from her. Caught the defender sleeping, curls inside and finishes for 2.
Yeah, the defense stuck to Shaw, knowing what damage she can do inside. As soon as it did, it opened up the hole in the middle, and they took full advantage.
Fade away. Good for 2, Brewer. 22-15. And a fast flurry of action from both teams.
Yeah, that gets Brewer going in the game. I'm sure now she's off the mark, she'll find it a lot easier to open it.
Nice from Fong Lu Ki there. Tries to float it over the defender. A nice pass from Lapinkupa on the end of the floor. Janaszewska again for 3. Fires it up. Rolls around the ring. Rebounded by Rhian Bailey. Big welcome to those joining us on the YouTube comments. Yes, Ella Clark and Georgia Jones are playing. Some love for Hannah Shaw as well. And some love also for Azania. Shout out to you, Pamela. Here's Lapinkupa, fires it off. Rolls off the iron. And Georgia Jones looking to slow down the pace of the game here. Here's Fong Lu Ki. Jones slipped to the short corner. It seems to be swinging through. Receives possession. Hannah Shaw. Top of the 3. Bailey, ball rotation. Finds it up pretty quickly. And Ryder's come up with the rebound now.
Yeah, unusually here, Ryder's looking to slow it down, running an A-set offense here with Lapinkupa at the top. We'll see how they progress the offense.
Mystics in the 2-3 zone at this moment in time, so Ryder's opting. Nice ball rotation and a great execution of their zone offense there. And the ball went to the wing. Ella Clark slipped down and Zany Studer curled from the opposite high post. Got an easy look inside. Smart execution and recognizing what defense they were in, and a timeout called by Jeff Jones. He wants to talk it over. 24-15, 6 minutes 51 left to play here, Greg.
Yeah, I think Manchester have probably come out of the quarter a little bit slower than Coach Jones would like. Only the 2 points in the quarter so far, but switching to the zone defense, Riders of a couple of occasions have linked up the two post players, Clark and Stewart, and when you're getting post to post passing like that against the zone defense, you're always going to have success if you can get inside against the zone defense. So we'll see if out of the timeout Jones makes any adjustments or changes, or if he's happy with what he's seeing so far.
I do think it is a tough matchup for them in that position, specifically when they don't have 2 bigs. They do have them within the roster, so maybe Allen and Shaw stepping into the game together, or Naylor and Allen coming into the game together to guard Clark and Azania Stewart and put pressure on them situations, but also having the IQ of those positions as well to be able to deal with anything they throw at them.
Absolutely, I think the IQ point is a massive one there, because Stewart and Clark weren't beating them purely on pace or athletic ability there. It was about the angle of the cut, it was the timing of the cut and the timing of the pass that made it such a fantastic bit of offense, 2-person game there. So yeah, but we'll see how the Mystics come back. They've obviously got options inside Naylor, Allen, Shaw and Acrostyle as an undersized 4 as well, so they've got options of their own. And
Allen has checked into the game. Shaw sits down coming out of the timeout, and here come the Mystics now on offense, albeit. And we'll see how they adjust coming into this one. Allen rises high post, looks for the handoff to Jones, finds it, and flailing arm from Brewer. Catches Allen on the head, so that will be a foul.
Yeah, probably just a bit unfortunate. I don't think there's any intent there, but yeah, just catches in the head and your foul is cool.
Second personal for her. Here's Jones. Nice crossover from Jones, floats off the right foot. Doesn't get it to go, but had the defender well beat.
Yeah, got into one of her favourite scoring zones, the fantastic handles, but not able to finish this time, but keep getting there and good things will happen for Georgia Jones.
Lapinkupa. Here's Rob. Rob now inside. Clark flashes to the middle, but Brewer aims another fadeaway too. Not often do you get the ball bounced off underneath of the front of the ring and then bobble over to get it in to go.
Definitely a home time role for Brewer, but she's getting going in the game. She obviously likes catching the ball in deep. She feels she's got that matchup to her liking in those areas.
Allen fires it up herself into the hands of Brewer with a defensive rebound. Lapinkupa calls for the screen. Up top. Here's Brewer. Nice hedge from Allen. She does recover in time, but the foul is called as Song steps into her path.
I think one of the smart things that Riders were able to do in that offense, they were able to draw Allen off of Ella Clark, meaning that they created a mismatch elsewhere, and Brewer was able to take advantage of the hesitation in the defense.
She'll go to the line. Actually, 2 shots, and referee deemed that she was actually in the act of shooting, or had the ball going towards the upright position, ready to shoot the ball, and Brewer gets a nice bailout call there, and she'll head to that free throw line. She's made the first. And the second. 28-15 now, and Manchester really need to get going on the offensive end if they're going to have any hope of sticking around in this game. Here's Naylor. Allen hands it off. Fong Lu Ki turns the corner well. Beautiful bounce pass to Allen. Trying to find a teammate, finds Naylor. Fires it up and into the hands of Rob. In fact, Brewer and Rob had both of their hands on possession. Needless to say, the Riders have the ball. Clark slips through the screen. Nice slip, but Naylor read the play. Here's Jones pushing forwards to Song. Naylor, nice pass to Allen. Beautiful transition offense. And there is that reply that the Mystics were looking for, to just keep them within touching distance. And the timeout called now by Jesper Sundberg, head coach of the Leicester Riders, as he will want to talk it over. 5 minutes, 6 seconds left to play.
Absolutely. The offense being started by the defense at the Mystics ends, getting a tip on the ball, Naylor taken away, and almost a perfect fast break. Multiple players running lanes, the spacing was fantastic. The ball moved and found the open cutter going towards the basket. They'll be wanting a little bit more of that going forwards. Easy scores are always nice to come by.
And quite a balanced score sheet across the page for the Leicester Riders this moment in time. 5 points, 6 rebounds for Ella Clark, 6 points for Brewer, 5 points for Stewart, 4 points for Smith, and 2 points for Lapaguba, 3 points for Holly Winterburn. For the Manchester Mystics, 4 points for Fong Lu Ki, 6 points for Helen Naylor, those back-to-back, or should I say those couple of threes towards the end of the first quarter, and 2 points for Allen and 3 points for Accra. So balanced scoring across the board. We're not particularly seeing any one player take over the game at this moment in time, and just backs up the fact that we were saying both teams really focused on running their style of play and working together.
Absolutely. I think both teams focused on the fact that as long as they execute, they don't care who executes. They'll put players in the right positions and look for them to finish. And I think you often find that the better teams are like that. The scoring will be spread, because you can't take away any one weapon, because they'll just move the ball to another one.
So time called back in. Riders ball from their end line after the beautiful transition bucket. Nice ball movement from the Mystics. And here's Smith, looks inside to Clark. Clark going one-on-one with Allen, fires it up long two.
Ella Clark loving that step back today so far. Hit a couple already.
Has a little bit of a speed advantage over Allen. A little bit more nimble, should we say. Here's Fong Lu Ki. Allen finds Jones. Fong Lu Ki up top. Song. Pump fake pass. Fong Lu Ki from deep. And a foul is called. Another foul called on Maya Brewer. That's her third personal. And 3 points on the line for Fong Lu Ki. And a substitution checking into the game. Robin Ainge will check in to replace number 10 Brewer. And as mentioned, that's her third personal foul.
Yeah, just as she started to get it going on the offensive end, unfortunately she'll have to take a break. We probably won't see her again this half. But yeah, started to get the score really ticking over.
And Fong Lu Ki has 2 for 2 at this moment in time. And 3 for 3 makes it count. Money on the line. And here come the Riders. 10-point game now. Winterburn. Big defensive possession for Manchester. They need to stop here. Here's Smith. 2 feet in the paint. Kicks it out Clark. Nice touch pass to her teammate. Smith fires up a 3. Rebounded by Clark, kicks it out. Winterburn, pump fake drive, floats it up high and gets it in for 2.
Yeah, fantastic secondary offense from the Riders. They got a second opportunity thanks to that woman again, Ella Clark, been everywhere so far today. And they moved the ball and got a great shot for Holly Winterburn.
7 rebounds for Clark on the stat sheet. Here's Allen. Now moves the ball. Fong Lu Ki skips it back out. Georgia Jones pump fakes, finds room. Georgia Jones off the side of the iron. Winterburn with the rebound. 3 minutes 30. Clark finds Winterburn on the cut. She'll go back to basket against Song. Song gets enough on it. Ainge comes up with another offensive rebound for the Riders. Here's Rob.
Yeah, Robin Ainge, one of the standouts of the Div 1 women's team. Fantastic player.
Rob fires it up for three. Off the glass and in. Hail Mary shot. Gets it to go.
I thought the bank would be closed at 5:30 on a Saturday, but apparently it's open.
Online banking, Greg. Online banking. We're able to do these things in the 21st century. Here's Jones now. Accra's back into the game. Here's Accra. Long two for her. Fires it up. Money. And she has proven if you give her room from long distance, she's going to knock it down.
Absolutely. You've got to respect her shot. She hit a sweet three earlier. That one as well. Ryder's got to put her a lot more pressure on her when she's got the ball.
Nice hands from Allen. Reads the play. Here's Jones. Tries to find a teammate. The angles were getting tight, and I feel she left it a little bit too late to find the window of opportunity. Substitution checking into the game for the Riders. Stewart stepping onto the floor, replacing Clark. A well-deserved rest for Clark. Had a great impact for the Riders in this game. Allen will also head to the bench.
Yeah, slightly different lineup for both teams. Riders probably going a little bit bigger with bringing Stewart on. Mystics probably going slightly smaller, bringing Naylor into the floor. I think the first time Mystics have had neither Allen or Shaw on the court.
Naylor. Jones. Now with Song. Out of bounds, that back foot on the sideline. Every hooper's, little nightmare that you have when you're on that baseline 3 area. Your back foot stepping out of bounds.
Yeah, you've got to know where you are in the court, especially when it's a clear court like this. There's not many lines to get confused with.
Stewart, she's going to go straight to work after coming back in. Tough defense from Accra.
Hannah Robb once again just putting her body on the line for the team, throwing herself in there, and it looks like she's come up with the ball. Will be staying with the Riders.
On a timeout now called by head coach Jesper. A chance to have a little conversation about the flow of the game. Riders firmly in control by 13 at this moment in time, 35-22 with 2 minutes 14 left to play. Manchester Mystics started the quarter with 15 points, I believe, or 13 points. Is that right, Greg? No, sorry. They've scored 9 in this quarter so far. And the shots that they're taking essentially aren't always bad shots. It's a fact of making these shots now in tough situations, being composed enough to do so.
Yeah, I think they're working the ball really well. They're still moving the ball out really quick and really well. Obviously, Georgia Jones is setting the offense. Maybe something they can look at is maybe moving Georgia Jones off the ball a little bit and see if she can score more heavily than some of the other girls have been doing so far. But I think one of the things about the Mystics offense is they're only shooting 28% from the field, and I think that has come from the Riders defense. Apart from Helen Naylor's first 3-point shot, pretty much every other shot has been contested. The Riders doing everything to make every shot as tough as possible.
Let's talk about that rebounding battle. 25 total rebounds to 14. Riders have 7 offensive boards, most of which have occurred here in the second quarter. They really are getting a lot of second chance opportunities, which, as every coach and every team will know, that will hurt you down the stretch.
Absolutely, and if you look at the rebound as well, on the offensive end, lots of players having grabbed 1 rebound. It's so many people working. It's everyone attacking the glass. It's Ella Clark, it's Hannah Robb, it's Holly Winterburn. They're all attacking the glass every time. Make it difficult for Mystics.
Foul is called here as the buzzer was about to sound. Foul is called on Song. That's her second personal. And a sideline possession for the Riders. The second team foul for the Mystics in this quarter. Smith.
Probably most importantly from a Riders perspective, a fresh 14 seconds on the shot clock.
Here's Stewart, back to basket. Rising high, Holly Winterburn off the dribble. Nice hesitation, floats it on the baseline for 2. Smart play from the Riders leader to get it to go. Here's the Mystics down the other end of the floor. Song onto the left hand, sweet finish.
Yeah, absolutely. Got if she catches the ball that deep, she's always going to be tough to stop around the basket.
Winterburn. Ball rotation. Rob has got way too much room on the baseline, and she drills the three. Nothing but net.
Yeah, second three-pointer, a little bit more conventional than the first, but yeah, once she gets cooking, probably one of the best shooters in the entire league.
Song. Naylor. Fong Lu Ki, nice flash to the top of the three-point line from Jones. Accra sets the screen, beautiful roll from Accra. Doesn't get it to go this time, and a nice rebound by Rob. Here's Winterburn, under a minute now. Riders firmly push themselves into the lead. Winterburn with the crossover and the spin. Holly Winterburn. Song will come up with the rebound. Here's Jones. Oh, a couple of tough offensive plays here for the Mystics, just like that. The Song cleans that one up, and they're in a better position to have a better second half, should we say, or more hope in the second half. So a big defensive play required now. Here's Winterburn.
Yeah, I think they'll be looking to try and get a stop to end this half. Maybe even sneak a score in, just try and take some momentum into the locker room.
Ainge. Out of bounds. Stays with the Riders. And a substitution checking in, number 12, Lepen Cooper, replacing number 9, Hannah Robb. Mystics set back up in defense. Winterburn into play. Lappen Cooper hands it off to Winterburn. 6-5. The clock winding down. Holly Winterburn unable to let the shot go, and tough defense from the Mystics to close out the second quarter and the end of the first half. 40-26 here at the Loughborough University. The Leicester Riders in the lead against the Manchester Met Mystics. You know, an exciting first half overall, Greg. Some great individual plays, but some great team basketball.
Absolutely. I think in terms of the team element, I think Riders' defense currently on top, and the reason that they lead the game, only giving up 13 points per quarter. They maintain that effort through to the end of this ball game, and they're going to be very confident they're going to walk away with the win. Equally, the Manchester Mystics got a lot of positives to take out of that half as well. Lots of good team basketball, players missing shots you would expect to make, and when they start going down, the scoreline could change very quickly.
Well, we've got to look at that battle of the rebounds once again. It's 27 rebounds to Manchester Mystics total 16, and 8 offensive boards. 12 second chance points for the Leicester Riders in this game.
Absolutely, yeah, 12 second chance points, and Manchester only with 5, so a massive difference there. And the rebounds just give you so much more opportunities at both ends of the courts. If defensive rebounds allow you to get out and run and score easy points and give them half a chance, Loughborough are going to look to get out early in the offense.
Riders playing quite balanced this moment in time. Half of their points of their 40 coming from inside the paint. Ella Clark has had a fantastic first half performance. 7 points, 7 rebounds to her name. Holly Winterburn has started to get going a little bit more, coming towards the end of the second half. 7 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, and 6 points for Hannah Robb. A big baseline 3 there to kind of keep Manchester at bay for that moment in time. The Manchester Mystics roster leading all scorers with 7 points is Fong Lu Ki. Those 3 free throws when she was fouled from on the 3-point line, key to them being within that 20-point margin. And Helen Naylor with 6 points. But once again, we're really looking for these players like Georgia Jones, currently 0 points, 2 assists at this moment in time. Now, we all know the quality that Georgia has. It's well versed, well written in the diary of women's British basketball over the years. How are we going to get her more into the game, and how are we going to get her in the position to make shots?
I think at the moment Georgia's running almost every offense for the Mystics. She's the lead ball handler in the offense and setting that up. It often means that when she's making the pass, the ball's leaving her hands for other people to try and score. It might be worth trying to keep the offense alive, be a little bit more patient in the half-court offense so it can reverse the ball back to her. Alternatively, allow somebody else to become the lead ball handler and move Georgia away from the ball, and just to see if she can hurt Riders and get herself going on the score sheet.
I think it is quite the story of Manchester's season this year. You know, apart from Georgia Jones averaging 17.7 and Nicolette Fong-Lu-Ki averaging 10, you know, other players, nobody is averaging any double point figures in regards to points per game, and that's always going to be extremely difficult. You need to put points on the board to be able to win the game of basketball, or alternatively keep them to less points. And defensively, they just didn't have the sharpness, or we've not been able to see the sharpness to kind of ratify the fact that they're going to put so little point on the board, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think if you're only giving up 26 points a game, it's fine for half the game. Sorry, it's fine if you're only giving up sort of 20 points for half the game, and your defensive intensity has really got to be there. But Ryder is able to convert at 44% from the field, so they're getting good shots and they're getting good looks, and Manchester need to take that away if they're not going to be able to start scoring in a more free-flowing manner.
So that is it for this first half, and we'll be looking forward to catching up with you guys who have checked in on the WBBL YouTube live stream. Let us know your thoughts of how you felt the game has gone and what you think both teams need to do to get back into this game. And when we get to that third quarter, we'll also be having a little look at our MVP debate for the game, which is something I like to throw in there in the comment section. So please let us know your thoughts. But we'll be back shortly after the break. Good evening and welcome back to Loughborough University for today's WBBL Championship action. Struggling to get my words out. Leicester Riders currently taking on the Manchester Mystics and are in the lead 40-26. My name is Tahir Hadja and alongside me today Greg Ellis, and we are taking you through today's proceedings in today's fixture. But there's lots of other action happening in the WBBL today, and those games have all cleaned up and finished this afternoon. The Sevenoaks Suns maintain their perfect record in the WBBL Championship, 93-55 against Durham. The Cardiff Met Archers took on the London Lions back to winning ways, 71-93, fresh off winning a trophy, of course. And also the other game in action today was the Oakland Wolves, who took victory over the Essex Rebels 57-52. There's also action tomorrow in the WBBL. The London Lions taking on the Caledonia Pride, and the Leicester Riders will host the Newcastle Eagles. So Greg, we're getting ready for this second half to get underway. Just take us through briefly how you thought the first half went.
Yeah, I think both teams will have big upsides that they'll be happy with. Both teams looking to really push the team emphasis. Riders probably doing a better job of it so far, hence leading at the defensive end, but also the bench contribution, bench points sort of double that of Manchester's. So if that keeps going, it's going to be a tide that Manchester are going to struggle to turn.
Well, the first play of this first half was a nice defense in the zone. Hannah Shaw deflects it. Now she's down the other end of the floor, blocked away by Azania Stewart. A little too slow for Shaw. The Manchester Mystics coming away with possession and had a positive start to the game for them. Here's Winterburn.
Yeah, seeing Riders come out with a double high post offense. We saw a lot from Manchester in the first half.
Azania Stewart for two. Driving all the way to the rack.
Yes, an efficient performer around the basket. If she gets the ball anywhere near there, you think she's going to score.
Shaw finds Jones off the curl. Beautiful pass from Jones to Accra. Nice play for the Manchester Mystics. Georgia Jones with the laser vision.
Absolutely, Jones getting the offensive going for the Mystics. We wanted to see a little bit more of her in this half, and she's getting it going early so far.
Azania Stewart kicks it out, ball rotation, Hannah Robb, pump fake, dishes it out to Stewart again. Gets it to go from mid-range this time.
Yeah, showing that she's not just a girl that can hurt you around the basket, but can step away too.
Jones floats it up, bobbles in and out of the basket, rebounded by Smith.
That was a tough big rebound from Smith.
And Stewart, well, I've been watching the few games that she has had at home, and obviously she came out of retirement to come back to the Riders. What was missing essentially was her putting the ball in the basket. You could see she had the understanding of what she wanted to do, but it was just knocking it down, and she's really progressed well coming out and getting back into shape. Here's Smith for two.
Yeah, I think anytime you join a team mid-season, especially when you're not the only change, it was 3 out, 3 in all at the same time. There's a lot of rhythm to be found, and when you add in the fact that she had been retired, it's all got to come back, and it certainly looks like it is doing today.
Shaw back to basket.
Again,
Riders,
challenged by Stewart.
Riders come up with the rebound. It's a 6-0 run for the Riders. At the start here, a 6-2 run, shall we say, for the Riders coming out in the third quarter. Here's Smith. Smith winds up a three. Bounces off the front of the ring, an offensive rebound almost for the Riders. Fong Lu Ki pushing forward here for the Mystics. Fong Lu Ki, nice pass to Accra, keeps it alive, kicks it out. Sophia Song for three, drills it. Mystics need that, and Jeff Jones heads to the table. Cancel that timeout, please.
It's amazing how many three-pointers cancel timeouts these days.
Lappencooper. Winterburn. Step through, and it falls, and one. Holly Winterburn gets the bucket to go. The foul called on number 24, Song. Nice footwork there. She cross to the left, nice hesitation, pound, dribble, then kind of came to a two-footed stop, 1 foot step through and floats it in, taking the contact, gets it to go, and substitutions heading onto the floor for the Mystics. Bailey and Allen into the game for Shaw and Song, and I believe that's the third foul for Song.
Yeah, so obviously just started to get going on the offensive end, hits the three-pointer, picks up the third foul, and will sit down. Be frustrating for Song and the Mystics. Wanting to, get her going. I think she could have been someone that could have led a fight back for the Mystics.
Here's Jones.
Active hands from Lapp and Cooper, wanting to get involved on the defensive end.
We'll stay with the Mystics. Holly Winterburn takes her total to 9 points personal. Substitution checking into the game. Ella Clark replacing Stewart, who had a beautiful burst of play into this third quarter, really made things tick for the Riders and got them into a good rhythm.
Absolutely, but replaced by probably the early front runner for MVP of the game, Ella Clark, with her first half performance, so no drop off for the Riders at all.
Allen. Bailey, back to basket. Bailey fires it up. Foul is called, draws the contact. Foul is called, the number 9, Rob, on the arm. Just felt she leaned a little forward on her arms. She was stood straight, but her arms leaning forward as Rhiannon Bailey started to fade away. Smart move to draw the defender's arm out, and Bailey heads to the line, converting the first.
Yeah, I think Bailey, once she got one-on-one with Rob, was always going to try and take her to the basket. A matchup that she feels she's probably a more powerful player than Hannah. So yeah, anytime that we see Hannah on Rhiannon, I expect to see something similar happen.
Lapp and Cooper, now with Winterburn. Finds the opportunity to go one-on-one with Allen, gets it back, swing through kick, Lapp and Cooper fires it up for 3. The triple knockdown, and a big 3 for the Leicester Riders. Bailey, post entry to Allen. Fong Lu Ki curling through, deflected into the hands of Smith. Here's Lapp and Cooper. Finds Rob, inside pass, beautiful pass inside to Clark. Bobbles over to the other side. Would have been great transition basketball. Jones finds Accra, and she left her defender looking elsewhere. And offensive rebound for the Mystics, a chance to reset. Again, another look at the bucket here. Here's Bailey. Bailey to the rack, rocking the baby to the right hand.
Yeah, pace getting a little bit frantic. Both teams looking for a score and getting a bit of broken play. Neither team able to convert, and it's just naturally increasing the pace and the tempo of the game.
Jones pulls up for 3 off the front of the ring. Her scoring woes continue in this game.
I think her teammates need to help her out a little bit and maybe set her up. At the moment, she's having to create her own shot with very little assistance from her teammates.
Lapp and Cooper. Now with Winterburn. With the crossover. Winterburn turns her body well. Hannah Robb fighting for the rebounds. Off the left hand to beat the buzzer. And that's out of bounds. Leicester Riders' possession just slips out of Dominique Allen's reach. And a timeout called now by Jeff Jones to talk it over as the score stands at 51-33. An 18-point gap for the Leicester Riders. 4 minutes and 43 left to play. But it seems like the Mystics are performing a lot better in terms of keeping up with the intensity of the Riders, but maybe not the composure.
Yeah, I think you've absolutely hit the nail on the head there, T. The intensity is definitely there. They look to raise it and combat and compete with the Riders on that same intensity level. A little bit maybe lack of composure, especially on the offensive end. Still only on pace, really, to get that 13 points per quarter again. So they'll be looking to convert a little bit more on the offense. In the last few minutes, both teams struggling to score, and the pace did get a little bit frantic, and sometimes you've got to have a leader on the court that can slow things down and look to do something that gets them an easy score, gets the scoreboard ticking again. 9
points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists for Holly Winterburn. A strong performance across the stat sheet for her. 9 points for Stewart as she started this third quarter very positively with the Riders. 7 points for Ella Clark, 8 rebounds, 6 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists for Smith. 7 points still for Phong Lu Ki, Accra with 7 points, and Song with 7. And as mentioned, Georgia Jones still really struggled to score, 0 for 7 at this moment in time. And you know what? Sometimes I don't think particularly that it's the creation, because she is taking good shots. Maybe they're just not falling for her this moment in time. But as a good shooter or a good play, you've got to keep shooting.
I think so. And for the first time in the game, Hines is checking in, obviously a guard that spent a lot of time in America and Florida, so hopefully that she'll be able to get the offense moving a little bit and maybe get Jones into areas where she can score more easily without having to just create her own shot off the dribble every time.
Clark, blocked by Dominique Allen. Dominance on defense, tries to find Hines, but an interception for the Riders. Here's Winterburn. Straight away applying the pressure on Winterburn. Here's Smith. Ball rotation to Clark. Clark back out to Winterburn. Clark driving. Allen all over her. Clark takes a tough shot. That's out of bounds. Leicester Riders possession. An immediate impact in terms of, stepping into the game. You saw Hines was all over Winterburn. It kind of spurred her teammates on to kind of lift that intensity on defense and a stop and the ball back in their possession. Here's Naylor.
Yeah, I think she brought that spark of defensive end off the bench straight away. And you have to feel that if she's able to bring that spark from the defensive end, why is it taking until 6 minutes gone in the third quarter for her to appear in the ball game?
Allen bounces off the front of the ring, off the backboard, and now Brewer on the right-hand side. Moves the ball up top to Smith. Smith hands off to Janaszewska. Clark into the hands of Winterburn. Winterburn going to the rack for 2.
Tough finish from Holly Winterburn on the run, under pressure.
11 points personal for her. And now a 20-point gap in this game, 53 to 33. Jones stripped away by Smith. The Riders come up with possession once again. Smith diving on the floor. Coach is always one of those things that coaches love, first to every loose ball. That will help you win a game. Here's Winterburn now. That's out of bounds, and that's a Manchester possession. Substitution checking into the game for the Mystics. Number 3, Nicolette Phong Lu Ki, replacing number 8, Georgia Jones. And a timeout called now by the Leicester Riders, and they give their team a well-deserved break. As mentioned, 3 minutes, 1 second left to play, and it's a 20-point game now. Greg, 13 minutes of action remaining. How do you get back into this game?
I think the first thing that Manchester need to do is really attack the final 3 minutes of this quarter. You ain't going to get 20 points back all in one go, so you've got to break it down and give yourself targets along the way. You can have, if you win this next 3 minutes by 5 or 6 points, it's suddenly 14 points. And if you can get from there to 10 to 9, you're in striking distance. And definitely have the talent and the ability to do it. They just need to sort of play a little bit more fluidly on offense and play with a little bit more composure around the basket. They're getting good shots, they're just not converting those shots right now.
And as you said, 29% from the field overall, 33% from 3, 4 for 12, which isn't too bad, but Riders are really finding the hot hand. 6 for 15, 40% from 3, and they're 44% from the field overall. And it's the first time actually Georgia Jones has come out in the game. She's played the whole game until this point, and now Coach Jones trying to find something different here with Hines and Phong Lu Ki at the guard spots with Bailey to see if they can make something different happen here.
I think when you look at the Riders lineup, they're a pretty small team for most of the time. They'll operate with one traditional big in Stewart or Clark, occasionally both, but most of the time we'll see one or the other. And I think it's causing matchup problems for Manchester, who are trying to have a couple of bigger players in each time. So maybe Coach Jones just trying to do something different to see if he can take advantage of the differences in matchups.
Oh, Helen Naylor under the basket is fouled. Foul is called on number 3, Janaszewska, blocking foul. And it's 2 shots to come for Naylor. That's her first personal, second team foul. Very much like the first quarter, referees have allowed this game to flow, not really needing to intervene too much. And Naylor knocks down the first from the free throw line. Well, it's that time to start thinking about our MVP of the game, okay? I know we're coming towards the end of the third quarter, but in the comments section, if you're watching us live on the YouTube, let us know who you think today's game MVP should be, and see how that story unfolds as we come along throughout this game. Here's Winterburn. Clark, stop and pop. Ella Clark, the catch, the spin. And just like a casino, it pays out.
Absolutely, definitely on double watch right now for Ella Clark.
Dominique Allen almost finds Naylor, swipes it to try and keep it in play. Janaszewska hands it back off to Winterburn, and Riders by no means in any rush. Here's Smith. Smith for three. Ooh, and I potentially think that might a little bit of a flop warning there. The referees didn't give one, but I would have if it counts. Substitutions checking into the game for both teams. For the Riders, number 13 Stewart, number 25 Morris making her first appearance, and substitution for the Mystics as Allen takes a break and Accra comes back into the game.
Yeah, an interesting non-flop warning call there, because if you've not called a flop warning, you must feel that there is contact, and if there's contact going through the offensive player, you have to question why the whistle didn't go.
Here's Naylor. Now with Fong Lu Ki, ball rotation. Bailey driving baseline. Accra, long two. She's showed that is her shot, and she will make it.
Yeah, hitting it consistently throughout the game so far. One of the brightest sparks in the Manchester Mystics offense.
Clark. Coach not happy there, thought it was a travel. Winterburn with the reverse, almost gets it to go. Stewart, offensive rebound. Foul is called. Foul is called on number 10, Bailey. End-line possession for the Riders. Coach Jones thought there was a travel violation committed there by Ella Clark, and kind of pushed his chair onto the floor in frustration. Referees believed otherwise. Here's Brewer. Now with Winterburn. Back into the hands of Brewer. Brewer winds up the triple. Rebounded by Accra. What a pass there from Fong Lu Ki, and a block at the rim. Rejection. Not tonight, Bailey. This is no longer your home, says Ella Clark. Here's Winterburn. Now finds Brewer. Brewer, hard off the dribble, onto the right hand. Bounces off the back line. Good contest there from Fong Lu Ki, putting her body in between her and the basket. Now she has it. Goes with the footwork. Nice hands off to Naylor, cutting to the paint. And that's knocked out of bounds. Leicester Riders will get it back. We've got a shout for Holly Winterburn. Can never look too far past Holly Winterburn for MVP. Shout out to WBBL Review on the chat.
Yeah, I think a few players putting their hand up as contenders, and Holly's definitely one of them so far.
And here comes Stewart. Hands it off to Brewer. Clark rises high post. Lappenkupper downhill. Offensive rebound once again for Stewart. A three ball for Brewer. And this time it's all strings. It's all money singing a sweet symphony. Brewer knocks it down. 58-37, Riders in the lead. Here's Bailey now. In and out, cross to the left, and one. Rianne Bailey back to back, big plays. Rianne Bailey with the handles and getting to the rack, finishing off her left hand. Nice move from Bailey.
Yeah, Bailey looking to get downhill, and when she's going downhill, she's tough to stop.
Substitution checking into the game.
Not exactly what you call a straight swap.
No, not a straight swap. Ains checking in. Sundberg being able to rotate his roster here. Of course, tomorrow they take on the Newcastle Eagles, another team that is battling mid to lower table. I believe that they've had a tough season this year in the WBBL. Just sitting fourth from the bottom, 4 for 9. And also a team that really had to fight to ensure that they could continue this season. That did some great fundraising work to keep it alive.
A slight delay 100% sure what the referee thinks he's seen, whether it's clock or the clock does now seem to be moving up and down, so it must be what he's unhappy with.
And I believe the clock will be reset to 13 seconds. So 18 points is the gap. Much more competitive quarter. 18-14 the score in this quarter.
Yeah, so I mean, Manchester have this quarter so far at least been able to slow Leicester down more than they had in the first half.
Oh, and an offensive foul called. Lapin Cooper trying to get up the floor in time to get a shot off to beat the buzzer. Tough defense, both players beating her to the spot. She tried to force her way through, hits the deck, offensive foul called by the official, and 5.1 seconds on the clock. Mystics, chance to get even closer. Nicolette Fong-Lu-Ki, and a foul has been called at the basket, right at the buzzer. Foul is called on number 7 clock. Referees will have a conversation, and 2 shots to come. I was wondering what needed to be clarified there. I think it was just the amount of time on the clock, or I thought the referee was suggesting an unsportsmanlike foul there, which I would thought would have been very harsh in that situation.
Yeah, absolutely would feel very harsh. I can't see any reason why it would get an upgrade. But I guess you never know. But we have seen a second be placed back onto the clock, so maybe it is just a timing issue.
And here's Fong-Lu-Ki, chance again on the free throw line. Currently 100%, 3 for 3 earlier on in this game. It's the first to go, and the second. 58-42, ball into play. Before the buzzer gets the shot off, but a little too far out, and that's the end of the third quarter. 58-42. We're only 2 points the difference since we were at the half. So essentially, Greg, or in fact, are we any different from where we were at the half? Slightly different when we were at the half? I'm trying to work out my math. My math is terrible right now. 58-42.
Yeah, I think since the half has not been much of a change, but since we had that timeout in the 3 minutes to go in the quarter, we sort of suggested that if Manchester could start chipping away and get it to the sort of the 15-16 down by the end of the quarter, that they could have a chance if they could then do the same thing early in the fourth to get within striking distance. And they have done that. They are back to 16 down. It was over 20, so they've started to chip away. And finish the quarter really strongly, so they'll be hoping to bring that momentum back into the start of the fourth quarter, and if they can do that, get themselves within shooting distance of the Riders. I mean, they did a better job of slowing down the Riders. They kept them to 18 points that quarter, but yeah, I think what we need to see from Manchester is not just a better at the defensive end. They've got to give us a bit more offense to start chipping away, really chipping into this deficit, because there is only 1 quarter left.
And that is for sure. Let's have a quick look, browse over the stat sheet. 9 points Fong-Lu-Ki, 9 points for Accra, 7 points for Song, 5 points for Bailey after the N1, and Naylor has 8 for the Manchester Mystics. Georgia Jones has checked back into the game. Last opportunity for her to really get things going, and maybe this might be the moment for her to get them closer. For the Riders, 11 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds for Winterburn, 9 points, 4 rebounds for Stewart, 9 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists for Ella Clark, 9 points for Brewer, 6 points apiece for Robb and for Smith, and 5 points for Lapin Cooper as well. So we will get this fourth and final quarter underway here at Loughborough University. Georgia Jones at halfway as the Mystics get the fourth and final quarter going.
I think interesting change already in this first quarter. Manchester not putting their hands in Georgia Jones, taking her away from ball handling responsibilities, maybe hoping to try and get her involved in the offense in other ways.
Here's Clark. One-on-one with Naylor, draws the help. Lapin Cooper inside, Azania Stewart. And before she caught that ball, I already knew that was going to be a bucket. She had her feet set and she went to work.
And from the reaction, so did Stewart. She loved that. She loved that.
Here's Accra. Naylor now, firing one up. A rebound for Morris. A steal. Naylor to the rack for two.
Battle of experience. Stewart at one end, Naylor at the other.
Stewart hands it off to Brewer. Brewer one-on-one with Fong Lu Ki. Brewer fires it up. Good defense from Fong Lu Ki. Georgia Jones comes up with the rebound. Jones finds Song for three. Would have been a huge three if it went. Lappenkupper. Much more positive from the Mystics.
Yeah, we start, as we said, in the quarter break, and they need to try and start the fourth quarter strong. If they can chip away, if they can get it to 10, get it under 10, with 2 minutes to go, you feel that you do have a chance.
Here's Clark. Azania Stewart with the seal. Nice hands from Accra. Really did a good job to get down there. Jones pushing forward. Georgia Jones going all the way. Jones. And just a little bit too much spinach in those muscles. Bounces it off the backboard. Here's Lappenkupper.
It's fantastic to see Emma Morris get an opportunity to get some reps in with the Riders team. Not had a huge amount of playing time this season, so it'll be great to see what she can do with her time on the court.
Another stop for Manchester. They need to capitalise on these opportunities. Jones, Song, pump fake. Lappenkupper recovers in time.
I think after making the one earlier, I would have liked to see Song let that fly.
Jones, and it just will not fall for Georgia Jones today. I'm really feeling for her right now, because every other day you'd put your house on Georgia Jones making some of these buckets. Here's Lappenkupper.
Especially that one, she was right at the basket.
Here's Stewart. Lappenkupper. Ball rotation, Brewer fires one up. That would have been really cruel if it went in. The Mystics are playing brilliantly on defense. Here's Fong Lu Ki. Off the dribble, finds Jones. Jones with the reverse, and she gets it to go. Finally stops the bleeding, puts 2 points on the board, and now a 14-point gap.
Yeah, and now the lid's off for Georgia Jones. Let's see what she can do in terms of helping her team get right back in this ball game.
And of course, we want to see a ball game.
Absolutely.
Morris fires one up. A rebound once again for the Mystics. Here goes Fong Lu Ki on the left-hand side of the floor. She's going to go one-on-one. Fong Lu Ki to the rack, and it's good for two. Timeout called. Exactly what Coach Greg is telling us today. Chip away, and the timeout for the Riders to talk it over, hopefully slow the Mystics down in their run, but a great defensive start for the Mystics.
Absolutely taking away the ball on a few opportunities, getting out much quicker in the offense, getting the easy scores. Interesting that Mystics have forced Jesper Sundberg to take that timeout. Initially, he was going to look to slow the momentum down by making some subs and see if he could go that way. But with the takeaway at one end, the fast break on the other, felt obliged to take his timeout, and that's a compliment to how the Manchester have come out in this quarter. What
happened was, though, essentially is that they stayed positive despite the fact they were getting stops and they were coming down into the floor, and maybe it wasn't dropping. And specifically, we've been talking about Jones all game and her ability to have not scored so far, but she stopped the bleeding because she stayed positive, got the look on that reverse after missing the two layers beforehand, and now has lit fire underneath the team. The leader, the captain, leading from the front, and as you said, you put your house on her making those kind of big time buckets. Here come the Mystics.
Absolutely. You don't worry about Georgia Jones taking any of the shots that she's taken today. They've all been high quality shots. You'd be more worried if she wasn't getting into those areas and wasn't making those shots. You're confident that if she keeps getting in there, she will score and they will drop. And I think now that she's got the first one to go and got over the hump, so to speak, that we'll probably see a little bit of a scoring flurry from Georgia in the closing stages of the game.
And here we go. Time call back in. Riders come back out. Stewart's checked into the game. Rob's checked into the game. Here's Winterburn. Nice work from Accra, forcing Stewart to have to work to catch the ball. She does too. Here's Clark. Fumbles. Rob. And a foul is called. But I would say a very good foul from Accra. Forcing the foul on Rob. The foul is called on Accra. She'll head to the free throw line. No easy buckets is my thought process behind that.
Absolutely. I think a weird sort of set where both teams would probably be quite happy with how it went. Riders in Stewart and Clark working extra hard to keep the offense alive. Neither of them got the pass they really wanted, but they put everything in it to keep it alive. Eventually found Rob cutting to basket. But equally, Manchester will enjoy the fact that they made it so tough for the Riders to even get an opportunity to shoot.
And there's their reward. Only 1 point conceded rather than an easy 2. Here's Fong Lu Ki. Nice turn off the curl. Looks to the corner. Accra fires it up again. Song tries to reach behind the head to get it, but it's into the hands of Lappenkuper. We still need to see another stop here for the Mystics to keep them in and around this game. Here's Clark. Stewart. Back to Clark. Off the dribble, Clark. Nice hands from Naylor. Strips it away, pushing forward. Fong Lu Ki with the speed, quicker than Winterburn. Pump fake to the rack. Smart play from Fong Lu Ki.
Absolutely put the afterburners on there and went blue past Winterburn.
And very important with the pump fake there. That's pure experience from the former GB guard. Here's Winterburn. She'll wind up a 3 for a reply. And a great box out from Accra. Keeps Stewart away. Fong Lu Ki down the other end of the floor. Finds Naylor. Accra down the other end of the floor for 2. End to end. Nice work from Accra. Great box out down the other end. Gets the rebound. Gives it up. There's the reward on the other end of the floor. The finger roll laying. And now it's a 9-point game. 5 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock. Here's Winterburn. Drives. Holly Winterburn to the rack. Onto the right hand. Stewart comes up with the rebound and finishes it for the Riders.
Absolutely massive offensive rebound from Stewart. Momentum firmly with the Mystics, and if that had been pulled down by a Mystic and taken away, opportunity to make it a 7 or 6 point game. It's a massive swing.
Accra. What Mystics don't need here is a turnover, and a foul has been called. Foul is called on number 13, Stewart, for a push. Endline possession. Substitution checking into the game for the Riders, number 17, Smith. Replacing number 13, Stewart, and that's her 3rd personal foul. Substitution checking in for the Mystics, number 20, Dominique Allen.
I know it's Stewart's 3rd personal foul, but there was only 4:45 left in the ball game. With the presence she's providing on the rebounds, might have been tempted to ride her for the rest of the way.
Song finds Allen. Now with Fong Lu Ki. Off the dribble, keeps it behind her back. Nice work from Fong Lu Ki. What a move. You're going to see that on top 5 WBBL plays of the week. Showtime for Fong Lu Ki.
And who voices that again, T?
That's not mine. It might be mine. Nice work. At least I don't have to do the voiceover. I'm just going to clip this clip. Here's Winterburn out to Rob. Clark. Clark inside to Winterburn. Mismatch. Winterburn to the right hand. Miss shot. Smith offensive rebound. Pound dribble. Blocked by Naylor into the hands of Song. The Mystics rejuvenated in the 4th quarter. Here's Naylor.
It's almost like they've just suddenly come alive, almost out of nowhere. Bringing the intensity at both ends.
Fong Lu Ki finds Georgia Jones. Nice rip through from Jones, and the foul is called. Winterburn reaches around on the arm. Sideline possession for the Mystics. 14 on the shot clock. That's a 1st personal foul for Winterburn in this game.
I think probably arguably a smart foul. Winterburn having no fouls before that, as Rob takes away the inbound. But it will roll out of play. Smart play from Winterburn. Georgia Jones had got to the edge of the defense and was about to attack the middle, and Holly Winterburn's reach just stopped that from happening.
Endline possession for the Mystics. Dominique Allen to put it into Georgia Jones. Clock winding down. Looking to try and beat the buzzer. Georgia Jones off the front of the ring. Rebounded by Holly Winterburn.
Yeah, for whatever reason, it just seems not to be happening for Georgia today in terms of a scoring perspective.
3 minutes 30 left to play here in the 4th and final quarter. 9-point game. And a rebound for Dominique Allen. The Mystics down as many as 20. Here's Naylor. Spins away from Lappenkuper. Nicolette Fong Lu Ki kicks it out. Naylor for 3. And that will roll in and out. Lappenkuper. Clark, top of the key. Clark blocks away at the ring. I tell you what, the hands are everywhere. Great active hands. And a timeout called by Jeff Jones. Give those ladies a breather. They have been putting everything into this game, leaving it all out there on the floor, and they now are in single-digit gap, 63-54.
Yeah, and exactly what you're saying. Jeff Jones wanting to give his girls a breather. They're absolutely flying on the defensive end of this quarter, but I think inadvertently that timeout might actually help the Riders. They're the ones on the, struggling for a bit of rhythm on the offensive end, essentially giving Coach Sundberg a free timeout to speak it over with his team and allow him to save his for later on in the game if it does get tight. But if you're Manchester, we spoke about getting within 10 with 2 minutes to go. Well, it's 3 minutes to go and they're 9 down, so they are well within striking distance of the Riders right now.
Nicolette Fong Lu Ki, 15 points to her name, 3 huge layups. That huge play, that is definitely going to be in the top 5 plays of the week, 100%. Beautiful play from her, using her body, using her footwork to find a good look at the basket. And this quarter score at this moment in time, 5-12 the score. Mystics leading the quarter, should we say, for the first time throughout the game. It's an end-line possession here, and let's see how these final 2 minutes 55 unfold. But I tell you what, we're going to have a challenge on our hands of picking an MVP for this game, depending on how it's going to end up.
Absolutely, and I think the biggest point about Fong Lu Ki's points is not about how many she's scored, it's when she's scored them.
Yeah.
She's doing it in the money time.
Winterburn. And another great defensive possession for the Manchester Mystics.
Yeah, Riders really struggling to get any offense going in this fourth quarter.
Spins away, Song finds Naylor. Fong Lu Ki for 3. Off the back of the ring, once again another rebound for Rob. It's tough for the Manchester Mystics from the 3-point territory in this game. They've had 2 good looks there with Naylor and Fong Lu Ki, and if those are dropped, this is a completely different game. A travel violation called, so once again, another opportunity for the Mystics to have the ball back in their possession.
Although again, inadvertently may help the Riders, because Naylor had taken the pass away and Mystics were ready to run. Obviously slowed down by the travelling violation.
Here's Jones. Fong Lu Ki out top. Naylor, Allen. Gets a hand off to Georgia Jones. Georgia Jones behind the back. Now with Naylor. Naylor fires it up. And once again can't get it to go out of bounds. Stays with the Mystics. They'll get another bite at the cherry.
Yeah, fresh 14 on the shot clock for Manchester. Another opportunity to execute and just chip it again. Get it to 7.
Fong Lu Ki, fade away. Rebounded by Stewart. Here's Lappin Cooper. Under 2 minutes to go now. 1 minute 50 on the clock. Winterburn. Driving hard to the right, Holly Winterburn. And another missed shot for the Riders. Here's Jones. Pushes the ball forward to Naylor. Naylor finds Fong Lu Ki to the rack. Fong Lu Ki.
I don't know what it is about that sort of almost invisible barrier of reducing it past 9 points, but last 3 opportunities Manchester have had, they've just not been able to execute it and get it down any lower and any closer than that.
Substitution checking into the game. Number 3, Katie Janaszewska, replacing number 17, Smith. But both ends of the floor, Riders haven't been able to convert either. And they've had equally as good looks at the bucket. But the intensity, intimidation of the Manchester Mystics defense, their bench really bringing the energy, getting behind them at this moment in time. Here's Lappin Cooper, one-on-one with Fong Lu Ki. Lappin Cooper to the left hand, rebounded by Fong Lu Ki, pushing forward here. The crossover past Lappin Cooper, bullet pass to Naylor. Oh, and the ball into the hands of the Riders. I thought Stewart caught her arm there.
From our perspective, it certainly looked like it was a questionable decision, but the referee's a lot closer to the action than we are.
Winterburn. Lappin Cooper fires up the long 2, and there essentially is the dagger. 42.2 seconds on the clock. Manchester Mystics going to need something special now. Georgia Jones fires it up for 3. And it is not that. 30 seconds remaining and Riders will use the clock as the score stands at 65-54. And there is separation between the shot clock and the scoreboard. Lappenkuppe kicks it out. Janaszewska for three off the front of the ring. Rebounded by Naylor. Naylor pushing forward. They've not given up here. Phong Lu Ki finds Song. Song for three. Knocks it down. And the ball into play. Essentially, that shot will make it a much respectable scoreline, much more respectable scoreline, and well-deserved scoreline in the end of the game. And it was a story of 3 quarters for the Riders being in control. In that second half, the Manchester Mystics really fought back, but it will finish 65-57, an exciting end to that game, Greg.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Riders probably very happy with the first 3 quarters of play. Definitely not so much with the final quarter. However, Manchester really brought the fire in that last quarter. And for a moment there, I think probably about 3 minutes to go, I think we felt up here that they probably could get back. Never able to get it any closer than 9 until about 3 seconds left to play. So they just weren't able to get over that little hump and that little barrier. Riders did enough just to hold them off.
And at the end of that final quarter, the Manchester Mystics 7-15 winners of that final quarter. But the star standouts and talk about MVP of this game, for me, I'm going to go with Azania Stewart. She made some timely buckets in that second half. She had a little putback in the midst of all the great defensive plays from the Manchester Mystics in that final part of the game. 13 points, 9 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 blocks. You know, a hell of a performance, and proving now she's starting to get back up to speed.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming in almost, not fully cold, but coming in when you've not played the game sort of competitively for a while, coming back is never easy. Doubling that up with the fact she's coming in mid-season makes it real tough, and already she's contributing in a massive fashion for her team. And I think probably 2 block shots on the StatCast probably doing a little dirty to her. I think there was probably a few more that she probably grabbed that don't show up on the stat sheet. But on top of that, it's the amount of shots she's changing, the second chance opportunity she's grabbing for her team.
I will say that Nicola Phong Lu Ki had a great game towards the end. She really fought for her team to try and get back in. 15 points she finishes on with 3 assists. Vanessa Accra had a really good game for the Mystics. 11 points, 5 rebounds for her. 10 points, 6 rebounds for Song. 5 points for Bailey and 10 points for Helen Naylor. From the Riders, also standing out, 11 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists for Holly Winterburn. Huge in the first half. Ella Clark was big time. She had 9 points, 9 rebounds and 5 assists. Talk a little bit about that first half performance from Clark, Greg.
Yeah, absolutely massive, and I think it was a major point of why the Riders were sitting so pretty at half time. She was just, it felt like she was all over the court, and for that to come off the bench is just massive for the Riders. And sort of, I think one of the things that both teams were looking to do was do it by committee, play team basketball, and that shows up massively in terms of the other guys or other girls doing it. 21 bench points from the Riders, and I think that was spearheaded from Ella Clark, certainly in the first half.
You know, we can't deny the fact that Georgia Jones went 1 for 12. You know, a bad day at the office for Georgia Jones. Had she had the opportunity to be on fine form as she usually is, this would have been a completely different game, Greg.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the Riders would have spent a lot of their scout based purely on Georgia Jones and what she can do, not only in terms of scoring, but the other things that she can do as well, in terms of making the game easy for her teammates. And I think the Riders' defense would be really positive that they were able to slow her down, but it wasn't just their efforts. There was a couple of opportunities today where you felt it probably just wasn't Georgia's day. Shots around the basket that you'd expected to make that didn't drop, and yeah, if those go in, it would have made a massive difference to the ball game. As I say, it was only 8 points as it was. If she gets cooking, it would have been a whole different ball game.
What I will say also is the battle of the rebounds. Riders with a total 54 rebounds in this game compared to the Manchester Mystics 36, and a huge 14 rebounds converted into 17 second chance points alongside 32 points in the paint. It just evidences how important Ella Clark and Azania Stewart were inside the paint in this game, especially with the matches up against Dominique Allen, who had 9 rebounds herself but only 2 points. Hannah Shaw with 2 points, 3 rebounds, and Accra and Naylor were the only other 2 players that could really handle the physicality of those 2 ladies.
Yeah, I think Hannah Shaw, we didn't really see much of her at all in that second half. She did a lot of her work early, and Manchester seemed to go away from her for today. So hopefully there's no sort of underlying injury concerns or anything there that forced her away from her. But absolutely, the second chance points, massive. 17 points for the Riders, only 5 second chance points for the Mystics, and you could argue that's the game right there.
Well, thank you very much for checking in with us here on WBBL Championship action. The Leicester Riders 65, the Manchester Mystics 57. An MVP performance from Azania Stewart. 13 points, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 steals. That's it from myself, Ty Hadja, alongside Greg Ellis today. We look forward to more WBBL Championship action tomorrow. The Riders taking on the Newcastle Eagles. We hope you all have a good evening and a very good night. Thank you.